This spring, I went to Afghanistan for my 4th reporting trip. I hadn't been out before with only the Afghans, especially now in this kind of critical phase where they are taking over security responsibility for the entire country and are operating at this point without the oversight or the partnership of U.S. forces out in the field. Central Nangarhar, Pachir Wagam, has a kind of valley running through it that was green and lush with lots of small farms, some growing wheat, many of them growing opium poppy. It wasn't necessarily the most violent province in Afghanistan, but it was the one that had the highest increase in violence over the year before. So I decided I was really interested and wanted to go see what was going on there, what it looked like on the ground. I wanted to get a sense of how the Afghan National Army was operating in the field without the partnership and without the oversight of the U.S. military along with it. Over the course of the 5 days that I spent in Pachir Wagam, the engineers of the Afghan National Army located and detonated 33 IEDs in 5 days. They missed one large one that unfortunately took the life of two of their soldiers, one of which was one of their main engineers. His name was Isatullah. I'd met him only an hour and a half before as I watched him wire up and controlled detonate an IED they had dug out of the road that morning. A couple of hours later, we were a little ways away, probably 1 kilometer away, on some high ground on a kind of visit to the troops with the general when we saw and heard a massive blast from down in the valley. Pretty much vaporized the Humvee, killed him and a soldier that was standing nearby. Generally speaking, the Taliban has a tendency to kind of fade away once the Afghan National Army takes the field. They're a large force. They come in with overwhelming manpower and firepower. So pretty quickly, the resistance to the mission, the resistance to the Afghan National Army pushing into Pachir Wagam became an IED resistance. I was impressed by at least for this operation, for the logistical capabilities they showed. Simple things like food, fuel were never big problems. There wasn't huge breakdown in supply lines. You know, at this point, we're talking about 12 years of close mentoring, of close partnership between the Americans and the Afghans, a partnership that has been tried for sure, tested for sure, but that has endured, you know. And I think that both the Afghans and the Americans don't want to see that partnership evaporate as the drawdown takes place. They will have to stand alone at some point, but it doesn't mean that they have to operate without our support. This is a delicate moment for Afghanistan. Our years of fighting there is going to be one chapter, but the story for the Afghans goes on. Our commitment there, whether we keep troops and advisors there or not, won't be over, and our obligations there will endure.